So hello guys, how are you? So today in this lecture we will start our second unit, that is basically your shear force and bending moment diagrams, and how to draw these diagrams and how to calculate the values. Okay, so first is your this shear force diagram. So what is this? Basically this is like a axial force diagram. So we have studied earlier also. This is nothing but it shows you the value of the shear force and how it is being varied, means as you go along the length of the beam. And the bending moment diagram does the same thing. It shows you the amount of movement, either it can be sagging or hogging, and its variation along the length of the beam. So suppose we have three types of means basically we are going to study three types of beams. That is basically, first is your simply supported beam, which is having pin support at one end and roller at one end. And then we have cantilever beam. There in cantilever beam we have only one support, and that is basically fixed. And in that, the third number is basically beam with overhangs. So what is there basically, this is a simply supported beam and it is being extended on this support. So what happens here, this particular part will act as a cantilever. Okay, and the moment will be acting over this support like a cantilever beam. So this particular part will be acting like a cantilever and this particular part will be acting like a simply supported beam. So this beam is called overhang on both sides. Okay, so this is on a single side and this is on both sides. And we have different types of loadings over here. Either it can be concentrated load, or it can be a uniformly distributed load can be there on the beam, or it can be a uniformly varying load, or it can be a moment also. External moment can be applied at any point. So let's see one example. Okay, so this is what the one example is there. The beam of length L is there, AB, and a load W is being subjected at C point, that is basically this middle point is there. And at A this is pin support, and at B this is roller support. So we have also studied earlier how to calculate these supports reactions. Okay, so just what you have to do, you have to apply equilibrium equation on the whole beam, because this is basically a determinate structure and can be solved by using equation of equilibrium. Okay, so that's what we did. And you can see here that means what you have to do is you have to apply all the three equilibrium equations for two dimension. Okay, 2D. And this is sigma fx is equal to 0, this will give you Rax is equal to 0, and sigma y is equal to 0, this will give you Ray plus Rpy is equal to W, means all the vertical forces. Okay, so, and either you can calculate moment at A or B, it can give you the result directly Ra or Rb. Okay, so we are calculating summation of moment at A, and putting it to 0, this will give us directly the value of Rby, that is W by 2, and Ray and Rby will be W by 2. Either you can calculate from the equation or just you can look at here, and you can see here that the load is acting at midpoint. So this distance is similar to the supports, so the half load will go over here and half load will go over here. This particular situation of the loading is called a symmetric loading. Okay, if the load would have been here, so that in that case this won't be a symmetric loading, so that means the Ray and Rby will be different. Okay, so that's the thing. Let's move further. So what is basically what you have to do is you have to first of all you have to calculate the support reaction so that you can know the unknown values. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to just calculate the shear force at a particular section. Either you can directly calculate at this point or C point or B point. What we do is to know the variation of the shear force, rather calculating directly the values, to know the variation, what we do is we just cut means we just make equations in terms of x basically. Okay, so this particular section is at a distance from here. Okay, and we will calculate values at this particular section. So this is the free body diagram that I made over here, and you can see the shear force is there and a moment, a sagging moment, that we have assumed that there is a sagging moment acting over here. So just applying equilibrium equation over here, ray we already have calculated, and this is x distance from here, and applying the equilibrium equation, what we give, what it will give us, that this vx1 will be equal to ray basically. There is no support, means sorry, there is no vertical load over here, and this is basically uh, uh, this equation will valid up to from a to c, and for c to b we have to take another section, because the shear force variation will vary after the load basically, because this load is acting over here and this is going to be varying the shear force diagram. Okay, so you have to take care of this, that you, if you see any vertical loading is there, any concentrated vertical loading is there, so you have to take separate section either from a left and from right. Okay, so on both sides you have to take the sections. Okay, so that's what we have done. We have splitted this beam in two parts, AC and CB, and we will calculate shear force variation and moment variation at both sections, x1 and x2. Okay, so x1 is x1 distance from here, and x2 is x2 distance from the A. So that's how we can calculate the value of x over here, and just putting these values of x in the equation, we can directly calculate the moment values and shear force values. So you can see over here the shear force value does not depend upon the position of x, because this is constant. So the value of the shear force will be constant from A to C. But after, if we just move from left hand side to right hand side over here, and you will see that the W will be coming over here. So just after the C, the effect of W will going to come, and we have to take care of that. So so that's why we have also taken this second section. Okay, so keep in mind that how to take the sections. Okay, whenever there is a vertical force, you have to take a section on the both side, to see the how the shear force and bending moment is varying, because they will vary differently. Okay, so that's the thing. So after applying a moment, for moment at x1, what you have to do, you have to calculate moment at this particular point, and summation of all the moment at this particular point will give you the value of this function mx1. Okay, and that what we have done here, that we have calculated mx1 is equal to ray into x1, and just putting the values over here at x1 is, when x1 is 0, the moment will be 0 obviously, and when x1 is L2, the moment will be WL by 4. Okay, so that's what I have done over here. And now we're moving to segment CB. After segment CB, what you have to do is, you have to again draw the FBD diagram, and now what you are seeing over here is, we are also taking the value of W over here, because our section will lie between C to B. We have Vx2 and Mx2 as the unknowns, and we can apply equilibrium equations over here and calculate the value of Vx2 and Mx2. And applying equation, summation of Fy is equal to 0, Vx2 is equal to Ray minus W, that will be equal to minus W by 2. You can see here the change, the shear force has changed the sign. Okay, so we have assumed that this is in downward direction, but the sign is now negative, so it must be positive over here. So that's the thing, means you are assuming here you have assumed this is in downward direction and it is coming positive, so that this means that the shear force is positive. And when we are going to draw the diagram, we have to draw it positive values in positive y and negative value in negative y. So that's what we have to do. So now you can see over here that from C to B it varies minus W by 2, and from A to C it varies W by 2. So now you can draw the diagram over here. You can see, you just draw the put V versus x is your distance, length of the beam, and V is the value of the shear force. The positive value will be drawn upwards and negative value will be drawn downwards. So starting from the A point, you can see over here in AC what we have this W/2 constant from A to C. Then after at reaching C, it is going to means in CB section it is minus W/2, okay, up to the B point. So you can see over here that means effect of W over here, so that since this RAY is upward, that the value was W/2, and then after we are calculating here, then W will be coming from upwards and the value will become negative minus W/2. Now you can see the moment deviation over here, mx2. You can calculate it at this point, at this particular x2, okay, and you can calculate the moment about this cross section and get the value of mx2. So rx into x2 minus this, and now you have to put the values at, and now you can see over here the x2, how the x2 varies, basically how you will put the values. So for this set of equation, the x2 will vary from L/2 to L, okay. You cannot put 0 to L/2 or L, okay. So that's the thing, that value will vary only here, okay. So this set of equation is for AB. The value will be varying of x1 to 0 to L/2, and this set of equations are for basically CB section. So the section is varying from C to B, so that's why we are getting L/2 to L. So we are getting C here, WL/2, WL4 for L/2 and 0 for L. And you can also judge from these two equations that at the same particular point moment will be the same, but shear force won't be same, because this value is affecting the shear force. And you can see how the variation is there. See, the variation is linear because there is 1 degree of axis there, so variation will be linear, and this linear variation will be there. So this is how you can calculate the or draw the shear force and bending moment diagram along the length of the beam. So every ordinate at here means every ordinate of the shear force and bending moment diagram will give you the value of that particular point. Suppose I want to calculate shear force at this point, just what you have to do, you have to see the values over here at this ordinate and at this ordinate. So that is basically the moment will be this much and shear force will be this much. So that's how we can calculate, and by just seeing the diagram, one can calculate the values, no need for calculation and all things. So that's why it is very important to draw this, and in further higher classes you will be dealing in this before designing and all the things. So in analysis part, so this is the first basic thing you have to learn before designing structures, okay. So that's the thing. So let's take one more example, that is basically I am taking this example from a tutorial sheet, and it is also given in your book, R.C. Hibbeler book, okay, Mechanics and Materials, R.C. Hibbeler. This is one of the examples. So you can see over here there the variation is there, concentrated force is there, uniformly distributed load is there, and at C there is pin support, and A there is a roller support. So there will be two support reaction over here, and there will be one support reaction over here. A moment, external moment is also acting at A, so it is trying to rotate this beam, means there will be a sagging moment it is causing. So that's what you have to see all the things, and now you have to see how you are going to split this beam, okay. So you can see over here there is only one concentrated moment from here to here and from here to here. So we'll split from A to B and B to C, and you can see over here this is all the support reaction will also act as a concentrated load. So if there is a means, we will see in further example that if there is overhang beam is there, so one should have to take a section over here also. So for this means examples, only two sections are sufficient, okay. So that's a thing we have to see. So what you have to do, you have to just first of all you have to calculate support reaction, okay, that is the first step. And after calculating the support reaction, just apply equilibrium equation and calculate the support reaction, that is coming out to 5.75 and 34.25. okay, and then what you have to do is for AB section, how the shear force and bending moment is varying at from A to B. So what I did it, we will take x1 first cross section and x2 first second cross section. This is basically x1 distance from A, and this is basically x2 distance from A, by for the sake of it. Okay, for easiness I have taken these value. You can take anything. So just drawing the FBD diagram, the shear force is there, moment is there at that is being acting on this x1 section. And just what you have to do, yeah, I already calculated the support reaction, and then you can calculate by applying equilibrium equation the value of Vx1 and Mx1. So equations will give you the value. So this is coming out to be constant. So what it means, it means that A to B the shear force will be constant. Okay, and for Mx1 this is the linear variation is there because there is 1 degree. So just putting the values of x1, and you are getting 80 and 108.75. okay, so just see this part, AB part. So we are getting positive value of 5.75. just draw is there, draw it on the positive side from A to B 5.75. and see over here at 0 we have 80 kilonewton meter, 80 kilonewton meter positive, and at 5 we have 108.75 kilonewton meter positive. And this means states that the moment that is being developing inside the beam is sagging moment. okay, because we have assumed sagging and we are getting in positive, so that means that we are having the sagging moment over here. Our assumption is correct. And just draw it because this is linear, so this will vary linearly from 80 to 108.75. so at A there is an abrupt moment 80 because of this external moment. okay, so 80 is there at 0, x1 is equal to 0 and x2 is equal to 5, 108.75 is there. So 107.58, just mark it over here and join it. okay, so just for the scale you have to draw it. It won't be means necessary to draw on the means accurate scale, just to show the variation. okay, so it must be proper then. So for BC segment you have to calculate other two sets of equations basically. So what we have is we have calculated, means draw the FBD diagram, and you can also see over here that means there is a portion of UDL is also coming. So don't forget to take this also. okay, so you have to take this load also, and this load also people often forget to take UDL, and just take this load also over here to for the FBD diagram. okay, and this is Vx2 Mx2. So just what you have to do, you have to calculate apply equilibrium equation and calculate the equation for Vx2 and Mx2, and applying here what we have, vertical force Ray 15 and the total load due to this UDL, and this distance is basically x2 minus 5 is this, and x2 is total, so x2 minus 5 and into the intensity of the load. So this is UDL, uniform distributed load. The unit is in Newton per meter or kilonewton per meter. So just you have to multiply the length of the load and you will get the total load. And where it is acting, it will be acting here at the center of this loading. okay, so it will be acting s2 minus 5 from this point, means from x2, from here this cross section. okay, so it will be acting in the middle, so x2 minus 5 by 2. So just calculate the values and put the x2 value. So x2 will vary from 5 to 10, and we are getting the values minus 9.25 and minus 34.25. so see over here that just put mark minus 9.25 and join it, and mark minus 34.25 and join, and you can see the variation how it is varying. It is varying by the degree of 1, means this is linear variation. So just join the linear with a straight line. So this is how you can calculate the shear force diagram. For moment diagram, mx2 you have to see, and you have to calculate the moment due to all the forces. And what are those forces? Ry into x2, 15 into this x2 minus 5, and then 5 into, you have to take calculate this load, 5 into x2 minus 5, this is total load, and into where it is being acting, x2 minus 5 by 2. So this is the equation you got, and then put the values. x2 is equal to, from 5 to 10 you will get the values 108.75 and 0. So you can see over here that at this particular point the moment values are coming to be equal, and this should be equal. Otherwise, if you're not getting it equal, that means either there is a moment is acting over there at this particular point, or if there is no moment, external moment, uh, that means that, and you are getting different values, that means your calculation is wrong. Okay, so this must be same at all the points. Means if there is external moment is there acting over here, acting over here, so in that case only there will be an abrupt change at a particular point in the bending moment. Otherwise it will, you either you calculate from this side, AB side or BC side, you will get the same value. Okay, so that's the thing. You can directly calculate and draw the, and how you have determined this variation. This, see here, this is degree 2, x2 into x2. Okay, so the variation will be parabolic, so this will be, the variation will be parabolic variation. Okay, so just go through this and go through all the tutorial sheet that I have given to you, and this will generally help you in giving assignments and all the things. And this question is from tutorial sheet also, and on the request of the students I have drawn this. And you can see over here what is the trick over here is, there is a couple is acting over here. Okay, and in this couple what you have to do, you have to isolate this couple and see how what is the amount of moment that is being creating. So that is basically, just you can multiply the couple arm with the lever arm and add it. 8 into 1 into 8 into 1 is equal to 16 kilonewton per meter. So this couple is basically equivalent to a clockwise movement of 16 kilonewton meter, and where it is acting, basically it is acting at C. Okay, at this particular point it is acting at this particular point, and it is acting at this particular point at 16 kilonewton meter, sorry, at C. And what you have to do now here is how you are going to separate the segments. Okay, so this is very tricky here, and you have to see how the load is varying. So you can see over here there are two uniform distributed load is also there. So from A to B the variation will be different, from B to C the variation will be different, and from C to D the variation will be different, and from the D to E the variation of shear force and bending moment will be different. Okay, so for all those four segments you have to calculate the values, means you have to take the sections between them. Okay, so you have to take the four sections over here and calculate the values. So whenever this type of loading is there, so you have to see, you have to take section in between, and you have to take section after the loading. So that's how you can see the how the variation is, basically variation is going on in the shear force. Otherwise you will get create mistakes. Okay, so just after seeing means how you are going to split, we will split in two parts. Okay, sorry, four parts: A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to E. For each part we will take one section, one section over one section over, like here. Okay, and the limits will be in each section will be different. Okay, from A to B the x will be varying from 0 to 2 meters, then from 2 to 4 meters, then from 4 to 6 meters, and from 6 to 8 meters. That you have to see, because why this is there, because we are calculating x from A, for all the sections we are calculating distance from A at this point. So that's the thing. So going into AB section, AB segment, So I have also written the limits over here. Just you can go through all these things and you can easily understand what I am doing here in this example. So just you have to draw the FBD diagram and calculate the values and write the limits, and you have to see how it is varying. So this is varying linearly, you can see over here. Okay, so at x is equal to 0 this is 6, and x is equal to 2 this is minus 2. You can see in the diagram here. So 6 minus 2. Okay, so this is must be cutting in between. Okay, so that's the thing. So 6 positive and minus 2 will be in negative, and just join these two with the linear straight line because of this 1 degree x. Okay, and x is 1 degree. If it is square then it will be parabolic. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to consider. Okay, so that's the thing. So mx1, what is mx1 you can calculate it from here. That is basically acting at mx1. Okay, and ray is there, and there will be, and what is there, the moment will be developing due to this uniformly distributed load. Okay, so what is the amount of load? This load will be 4 into x1, and where it is acting at x1 by 2 from this point, means from cross section. Okay, either from here either, so it will be acting in the middle. So you can directly calculate the mx1. Yes, you can calculate the mx1, 6 into x1. This is basically your ray, and minus into 4 into x1. This is your load to UDL, and where it is acting x1 by 2. And just put the values. At 0 it is 0, at 2 it is 4. So you can see over here how I have made it here. So the variation will be parabolic. How it is parabolic? See, there will be degree of x will be 2, so this will be parabolic variation, and this is positive value. So just add means mark 4 over here and join with the parabola. Okay, so that's the thing. For BC section, what you have to do? For BC section, just draw the FBD. You have to draw the FBD very accurately. Okay, show all the symbols and show all the loads, and you should not be means skipping the loads. Okay, otherwise it will get wrong. You will get all the equations wrong, and means you cannot calculate further. So that's the thing. So Vx2 we can calculate directly from here by applying sigma Fi is equal to 0. It will be minus 2. Okay, and see here, this is minus 2, this is constant. So from B to C the value of shear force will be minus 2, and it will be constant. Okay, and mx2, and how it is mx2, you can calculate mx2 will be here acting here. So just you can calculate, apply equation and calculate the value of mx2, apply the this limits that will be varying from 2 to 4. You can see over here 2 to 4, and the value will be varying 4 to 0. Okay, so this is what we are getting, and this particular cross section, this particular cross set will be valid only up to BC, means just left of the C. We are not considering this moment over here. So up to C, this is 16. You can see over here, and the moment is linear. See over here, so there is only 1 degree of x. So moment is linear. So it's from 4 to 0. Okay. So and for shear force it is constant. This is minus 2, from minus 2 to minus 2. And for CD the same thing is there. You have to take cross section. You have to draw the FBD diagram and calculate the equations over here. So for each time you are doing the FBD, you have to take the equation. You have to calculate the equation. You have to calculate all the limits of the functions. Okay, otherwise you will make mistakes. If you want to do it directly, don't do directly. Just go for the equations first. Okay, because you won't make any mistakes there. Okay, and draw it very clear, means very carefully. Okay, the variation, all things, these things matter. Okay, so you can see over here how the shear force is varying. Shear force is, in this also shear force is varying minus 2. So minus 2 to minus 2. So this means that there is no vertical loading is there from B to D. See here, there is no vertical load, only moment is there, and moment is not going to affect the value of shear force. remember that it is going to affect the value of movement diagram only. Okay, so that's why we are getting from B to D it is constant -2. Then after that mx3 is there, you can directly see the values. This is linear variation, and you can also see the linear, and it is where it is means what is the values for 4 to 6, and the value is varying from 16 to 12. So this is 16, this is 12, and the variation is linear. Okay, for DE, and in DE section you have to take whole diagram, means up to here, up to this point. Either you can take right hand segment or you can take left hand segment. I propose to say you should take this segment, because there is only one reaction is over there and only one load is over there, so you can calculate it. It's up to you. And just I have done like this, it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Okay, so but the value should be similar, otherwise okay, you have to take care of that, the reactions and sign conventions, all of that. So that's the thing. So Vx4, you have calculated all the values, summation of all the vertical forces you can calculate. Moment won't be added here because this is a moment, so you can just see here from 6 to 8. From 6 to 8 how it is varying, it is varying linearly, and this is -2 to -10. Okay, see here, -2 to -10, and it is varying linearly. And see here, this is mx4, the variation of mx4, and how the variation of mx4 is x4, there will be the degree of 2. Okay, so this is varying from 6 to 8, 12 kilonewton meter to 0, and 12 kilonewton to 0, and the variation will be parabola. So this is how you can means go thoroughly and calculate the values of shear force and bending moment at a particular point, and by making the equations at certain segments. And you have to decide, and this will come only by practice, that how many segments you want to take, and how many equations you have to develop. And so it's just better go for the equations first. Okay, so go for the equations and calculate the values and write as clearly as possible, otherwise you're going to make mistakes. And draw the FBD diagram as as neatly as possible, and take care of the sign conventions always. Okay, so that is the key over here. So let's move to the next question, that is basically also from your sheet. And here I want to say that I made one mistake over here. So this should be basically linear variation, and this should be, why it is that I will show you. So this is basically the case of overhang on both sides. Okay, and you can see over here that there is a load varying, means load is at here CA, and load it as here uniform distributed load BD, and there is no loading between A to B, and there is vertical load here, means support reaction, and the support reaction is there. So we can take three segments from C to A to B, and B to D, because there is no loading between A to B. So there you don't have to take segments here. So three segments more will be sufficient. So after calculating the reactions first, what you have to do, in the reactions are calculated by applying Coulomb equation on the whole body. You have to just take out this x1 segment, section, and this is basically between C and A, and varies how the value will vary of the x. It will vary from 0 to 1.5. okay, yes. So after drawing the FBD, you can just see here, don't forget to add this uniformly distributed load. People often make mistakes, and I also did over you can see over here I have calculated like this. Okay, and Vx1 and Mx1 over here. So just calculate the values and summation, apply Coulomb equation on this FBD and calculate the value of Vx1. Okay, so this is minus 4x1, and x1 0 to 1.5 it will vary, and the value of Vx1 will vary from 0 to -6. And how the variation will be, this is linear. Okay, this is not constant, this is linear from 0 to -6. Okay, so that's the thing. and after that, okay, so this will vary from C to A like this. And then in AB section, what we are getting, oh sorry, moment. And for moment, what we are having here, a moment we are having here, this only this load, and this will be negative. You see it is coming negative. So at 0 it is 0, at 1.5 it is 4.5. What it means basically, in this CA section, this is coming negative, so this is basically a hogging moment, and you can say that this CA portion will act as a cantilever, because only cantilevers have hogging moments in them. Okay, so hogging moment is developing over here. So how it is varying from 0 to 4.5, and how the variation is, it is parabolic variation. Okay, it is not linear. It's cubic sorry, this is not cubic parabola, this is parabola. Okay. Yeah, this is parabola. After that, what you have to do is basically, this is parabola. Okay, and after that you have to take AB sections and cut x2 x2 and draw the FBD diagram and calculate all the values Vx2 and Mx2 equate. Means you have to draw, means you have to deduce these equations Vx2 and Mx2 and calculate the values over here. Okay, so you can see over here Ray, summation of all the vertical forces, Ray is there, and this is total force is there. So you have to take total load for this UDL. Okay, and there is no UDL, or sorry, there is no force over here, and just you have to calculate the reaction. So see here, this is coming out to be 0. Okay, so 6 minus 6 was there, and once you move past A, this will become 0. So at value will be varying from A to B will be 0. Okay, for the shear force. So that's the thing. And mx2 will be varying like this. And how you can calculate? By calculating moment at this particular point, and ray into x2 minus 1.5, because this is this, because how it is being there, we are calculating x2 from this point. Okay, so this is total x2 and this is 1.5, so this distance will be x2 minus 1.5. And how the x2 will be varying? It will be varying from 1.5 from A to B. This is basically your 4.5. Okay, this is 3 meters, so 1.5 to 4.5 x2 will be varying. So just putting the values, we are getting minus 4.5 and minus 4.5 Newton meter at both ends, at A and at B. Okay, and for BD, we have, what you have to see, you have to take the section one more time at this particular section BD. Okay, and what you have to see over here, you have to draw the BD diagram, calculate the equations. And what I have done here, actually I did one mistake. I forgot to take this load basically. Okay, so you have to see this load also. So this will be minus 4 into x3 minus 4.5. Okay, so this load will be added over here, and the equation will be by coming same. Okay, sorry. Okay, so x2, so it will be varying from where to where? It will be varying from B to D, yani 4.5 to 6. Okay, that's how it is varying. So after calculating the equation, you will get the value at B will be 6 in positive, and at D will be 0. Okay, so just recalculate this equation Vx3, and you can also means take care of them in your notes also. Okay, that I have provided. So this is basically wrong that I have done over here is. Okay, and mx3 is there, and here I have here I have calculated yeah, here I have taken the moments due to this particular UDL. Okay, so there is no need for any correction over here. And This is how you can calculate the mx3, and mx3 will be calculated at this particular point, summation of all the moments acting at this particular section. Okay, at this particular section. So just you have to calculate the values in terms of x3, and putting the values from 4.5 to 6, value will be varying from -4.5 to 0. So this is the -4.5 to 0, and this is basically your x2 into x2. This is your second degree, and this will be a parabola. This is not cubic parabola, this will be parabola. Okay, so make correction over here. Okay, so this is the last example that I'm going to take. Hope this will be getting cleared, means all these problems, and how to calculate shear force and bending moment diagrams, and how to draw it. And the more you practice, the more it will become easier. And just means be careful about sign conventions and all things, and always go for making equations, and be careful in selecting the segments. Okay, and drawing the FPD diagrams. So that's about it. And in the next lecture we will study bending stress, and what is the bending formula, and how to calculate bending stress, okay, across the cross section of the beam. Okay, thank you.